Over the last couple of days, parts of Rhode Island, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, and New England have seen up to 3+ feet of snow. Places in Central Park, New York, received nearly 20 inches of snow, with a snowfall rate of 2 to 3 inches per hour, setting a record for the 9th highest snow total in the park. It's the biggest storm the New York area has seen since 2020 to 2021, causing power outages and travel delays, among other impacts. Despite the negative impacts of a major winter storm, skiers are taking advantage of the city's snow for close-to-home turns and for alternate modes of transportation. New York Mayor Zohran Mamdani declared a state of emergency that banned non-essential vehicles, including just about everyone except ambulances, police cars, and utility trucks. With delays on the subway lines, PATH trains, and other public transit services, New Yorkers have turned to cross-country skis and touring setups to get around the city for food and other supplies while snowed in. Although snow had mostly stopped falling by Monday afternoon, transit around the city remained difficult. Those less concerned about transit and more eager to take advantage of the city's rare snowfall took to Central Park to find a few street features. Clips on social media show skiers and snowboarders riding down park steps covered in snow, having snowball fights, and using things like picnic benches and barrier walls as more rideable features. A couple posted to Reddit saying they'd picked up cross-country skiing a few months back and had done a 10,000 loop around Times Square, Harlem, and Central Park. Keep reading for more. This storm is one of the biggest blizzards New York has ever seen, narrowly beating out one in January of 2011, when 19 inches of snow fell on the city. Earlier this year, another storm impacted New York and the greater New England area, prompting skiers to similarly take advantage of the snow for transit and a little fun. Only around a foot of snow fell during the previous storm, which was still enough to cause delays and closures around the city. According to a meteorologist at the Weather Prediction Center, who was quoted in the New York Times, the snow from the storm is expected to melt fairly quickly due to daytime temperatures hovering around or just above freezing. Meanwhile, police officers patrolling a New York City park during Monday's blizzard were assaulted with snowballs, leaving several injured as temperatures plummeted. According to police, officers arrived at Washington Square Park in Manhattan around 4 p.m., following reports of multiple individuals on a park rooftop. As the officers approached, they were struck by snowballs, sustaining injuries in the process. Several officers required hospital treatment for facial lacerations. NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch called the incident disgraceful and criminal. The NYPD is aware of certain videos taken earlier today in Washington Square Park showing individuals attacking cops. I want to be very clear. The behavior depicted is disgraceful, and it is criminal. Our detectives are investigating this matter, she wrote in a post on X. The Police Benevolent Association of the City of New York described the attack as unacceptable and outrageous in a post on X, which added that the individuals responsible should be arrested and charged with assault on a police officer. This is the environment that NYC police officers are up against. Our police officers are being treated for their injuries, but the case cannot end there. The individuals involved must be identified, arrested, and charged with assault on a police officer. And all of our city leaders must speak up to condemn this despicable attack. The post read. New York Drug Enforcement Administration President Scott Monroe also urged Mayor Zohran Mamdani and Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg to ensure that those responsible for the attack are held accountable and face prosecution. No free pass, no get-out-of-jail-free card. Make no mistake, detectives will do what they always do. They will identify those involved and they will apprehend them, Monroe said in a statement. Our men and women in blue deserve to be safe. They deserve to be protected. And they deserve to be respected. They earn it every single day. It comes as New York City is currently battling a historic winter storm, which has seen thousands of flights canceled, travel bans, and power outages. The powerful bomb cyclone, with near hurricane-force wind gusts, dumped over a foot of snow on Monday morning. Central Park recorded 19 inches of snow. Schools were also closed on Monday. No remote learning, no logging on, Mamdani wrote on X. Our first real snow day in 7 years. This blizzard is serious. Stay inside. Travel ban 9 p.m. to noon tomorrow, so crews can keep streets clear. The Weather Service said it's tracking another storm that could bring more snow to the region later this week. A combination of rain and snow is expected Wednesday, with up to a couple of inches of possible snow. While the new storm is not expected to be as strong, even a few extra inches of snow on top of hard-hit areas could make cleanup more difficult, said Frank Pereira, meteorologist for the Weather Service in College Park, Maryland. Any additional snow at this point is probably not going to be welcome, he said. The Bronx woke up today under heavy snow and whiteout conditions as the city faces its first blizzard in a decade. Mayor Zohran Mamdani declared a local state of emergency Sunday night, restricting travel for non-emergency vehicles until noon on Monday, activating warming centers and mobilizing city agencies across the 5 boroughs. By 7:15 a.m. Monday, 17.9 inches of snow had fallen in Mott Haven and 14.8 inches in Co-op City by 10:15 a.m., with additional accumulation expected through 6 p.m., according to the National Weather Service. The totals have already surpassed the 13.5 inches recorded in Fordham during Winter Storm Fern. The Bronx, Manhattan, and western Brooklyn are expected to see the heaviest snowfall, with up to 22 inches possible by the end of the storm, according to New York City Emergency Management. Wind gusts reached up to 61 miles per hour in Fordham by 6:30 a.m., contributing to near-zero visibility and hazardous road conditions across the borough. To account for the historic snowfall, Mamdani announced a rare snow day, not remote learning, marking the first full snow day since 2019. Transit service has been significantly impacted. The 1, 4, 5, 6, B and D trains are running with severe delays in both directions, and buses are operating with chains on their tires, but at reduced frequency as drivers wait for streets to be plowed. Officials urged residents to avoid unnecessary travel to allow emergency vehicles and sanitation crews to move freely. Mamdani said the New York City Department of Sanitation deployed 2,300 plows and 700 salt spreaders citywide, with more than 2,600 sanitation workers operating on 12-hour shifts to clear highways, bus routes, and residential streets. After facing criticism over snow removal during Winter Storm Fern, the administration said it took additional steps ahead of this storm on Saturday. The city brought in outside mechanical snow clearing equipment in advance and expanded geocoded tracking of bus stops, locations where unsheltered individuals gather, crosswalks and pedestrian ramps to speed up clearing efforts. Officials also mandated that at least a 4-foot path be cleared on sidewalks to accommodate wheelchairs, and said agencies would pay increased attention to clearing fire hydrants, crosswalks, and bus stops near city properties. An enhanced Code Blue is now in effect as temperatures remain below freezing. The city is operating 5 24-hour warming shelters in the Bronx for at-risk New Yorkers seeking refuge from the cold. Those locations include NYC Health Plus Hospitals / Jacoby, 1400 Pelham Parkway South, NYC Health Plus Hospitals / Lincoln, 234 East 149th Street, NYC Health Plus Hospitals / North Central Bronx, 3424 Kossuth Avenue, and the Living Room Drop-In Center, 800 Barretto Street at Lafayette Avenue. All are open 24 hours a day. Additional temporary warming shelters are open at DeWitt Clinton High School, 100 West Mosholu Parkway, Gompers Campus, 455 Southern Boulevard, and Stevenson Campus, 1980 Lafayette Avenue, operating from Sunday at 7 a.m. through Monday at 8 p.m. A warming bus is stationed at 149th Street and 3rd Avenue from Sunday at 7 p.m. through Tuesday at 7 a.m. An additional overnight warming location is operating outside NYC Health Plus Hospitals / Lincoln near the emergency department entrance daily from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Officials said snow removal operations will continue around the clock as the storm moves through the region. Meanwhile, as of Wednesday morning, 160,000 Massachusetts residents remained without power, according to the Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency, mostly on or near Cape Cod. A map created by MEMA shows that in 3 Cape towns, Wellfleet, Eastham, and Brewster, More than 75% of residents don't have electricity 36 hours after the blizzard that dumped 1 to 2 feet of snow in most of the state ended. That's just over half of the nearly 300,000 state residents without power at the peak of the blizzard Monday. At noon Tuesday, Governor Maura Healey had lifted a travel ban in Bristol, Plymouth, Barnstable, and Duke counties that were placed yesterday. But she said residents should drive cautiously and stay home if possible to allow crews to continue cleanup efforts after 1 to 2 feet of snow fell during the storm. While we are lifting the travel ban, the state of emergency remains in effect for some counties, and we urge people to continue using caution and stay home today if possible to allow crews to do their work, said Healey. Doug Foley, president of electric operations for Eversource, said Monday's blizzard conditions made utilities' job nearly impossible for disaster recovery crews to restore power safely, especially along the South Shore and Cape Cod. The focus today is to continue on with any public service safety events with the communities to understand exactly what we have, Foley said during a news conference in Yarmouth Tuesday morning. We need to know the extent of the catastrophic damage that we have down here in the Cape and the Plymouth area. Foley said Eversource, the largest of the utilities serving Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Connecticut, has 2,000 line crews and thousands of people working with tree crews from dispatch centers. In Yarmouth, contractors will come in from as far as Detroit, Canada, and Ohio to help cleanup efforts, and crews are coming from New Hampshire and Connecticut to help restore power. We have 2 helicopters, one in the Plymouth, New Bedford area, and one down here in the Cape and Martha's Vineyard, so they're going to do a rapid patrol of our right-of-ways, our transmission right-of-ways, Foley said. It's the quickest way for us to do an assessment. Foley said one problem is the cement-like snow that's caking onto equipment at the substation and needs to be cleaned off with a pressure washer. He said Eversource is working closely with the Steamship Authority to get additional resources over to Martha's Vineyard, where there are some pre-staged crews. In Plymouth, 21,000 customers are without power, or 59% of the town, as of Tuesday afternoon. Plymouth Town Manager Derek Brindisi said emergency operations are working as quickly as possible to restore power with the help of the utilities. This has been a historic storm, and we really are asking for the residents to be patient with us, Brindisi said. We spent a lot of time trying to help a lot of folks that were rescued on the side of the road that really should not have been driving, so that took away from our plow operations. Brindisi said with Monday's winds at blizzard conditions, the town had about 110 pieces of equipment out on the roads, but after working 30 hours straight, many had to take a break and rest. We're only at 50% strength, and we're trying to cover the 4th largest road network in Massachusetts. Plymouth is a big community, he said. Plymouth is 104 square miles and among the largest in the state, behind Boston, Worcester, and Springfield. The town has requested help from the state in the form of heavy snow removal equipment, such as front-end loaders, skid steers, and Humvees. We have drifts that are 4 or 5 feet in height, and we only can move that with front-end loaders, he said. David Golden, chair of the Plymouth Board of Selectmen, attended a meeting at the Emergency Operations Center at the Cedarville Fire Station Tuesday morning to assess the post-storm situation. He said many of the people without heat and electricity are unable to shovel themselves out. There are a lot of folks out there who are in need of help, and we're deploying as many resources as we can to get that help to them. The town has set up an emergency shelter at Plymouth North High School. A state of emergency remains in effect for all counties except for Berkshire, Hampden, Hampshire, and Franklin. And some towns still have local travel restrictions and parking bans, and there were multiple vehicles seen stuck and abandoned along some highways and entrance and exit ramps. Healey activated up to 350 members of the Massachusetts National Guard to support storm recovery operations. Brindisi and other officials have said that with snow accumulation of more than 2 feet, the storm exceeded the record of outages from the most recent prior blizzard in January 2022. He is asking residents to help other neighbors and be patient in restoring power, calling it a protracted storm event. This has been the most challenging storm that we've seen in the not-so-distant past, he said. I talked to our fire chief and police chief, who've been both working for each one of those departments, respectively about 25 and 30 years, and they both said they've never seen a storm like this, probably the most challenging storm in at least the last 20-plus years. Governor Maura Healey has lifted the travel ban for the hardest-hit Bay State counties after the historic monster blizzard dumped up to 3 feet of snow. The governor at noon on Tuesday ended the non-essential travel ban for Bristol, Plymouth, Barnstable, and Duke counties. Healey continued to urge residents to use caution and to stay home if possible to allow for crews to continue cleaning up amid the icy, snow-covered, and slushy conditions. A number of communities, including New Bedford, Fall River, Brockton, and others, still have local travel restrictions and parking bans in place. While we are lifting the travel ban, the state of emergency remains in effect for some counties, and we urge people to continue using caution and stay home today if possible to allow crews to do their work, Healey said in a statement. Our teams continue to be out in full force to support cities and towns after this storm, providing equipment and personnel to help with snow removal and other efforts. We know that there are still many households without power, and the utilities are working hard to assess damage and restore power as quickly and safely as possible, the governor added. We thank the people of Massachusetts for their patience and caution while we work to get back to normal, and we are especially grateful for all of the workers who continue to be out here around the clock to deliver for our communities. Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency local coordinators were reaching out to every city and town in the eastern region to assess needs and deploy available resources. MEMA has received more than 90 requests for assistance, mostly for Massachusetts National Guard support and public works and snow clearing equipment. At the direction of Healey, MEMA requested out-of-state mutual aid to support snow removal operations. Snow removal crews and equipment from Vermont arrived Tuesday morning. Healey has activated up to 350 members of the Massachusetts National Guard to support storm recovery operations. MassDOT crews responded to the storm with about 3,000 pieces of equipment on statewide roadways. Equipment was redeployed Monday afternoon and evening to the South Coast to assist municipalities responding to extraordinary levels of snowfall. Statewide storm cleanup will continue this week, as crews complete snow removal on interstate highways and secondary and local roads. Motorists should expect to see snow removal equipment on the roads and should allow for extra travel time. Motorists were encouraged to use caution, particularly at intersections, ramps, and shoulders. Meanwhile, as a nor'easter dumped several inches of snow on Massachusetts and whiteout conditions intensified, emergency crews responded to car crashes and stranded vehicles across the state on Monday, February 23rd. Meteorologists with the National Weather Service urged people to stay home during the height of the storm. As of 10 a.m., 2,621 plows were out, engaged in snow and ice operations on the roads, according to the Massachusetts Department of Transportation. The strong winds and weight of snow on tree limbs may down power lines and could cause sporadic power outages, the National Weather Service said in a bulletin. Whiteout conditions are expected and will make travel treacherous and potentially life-threatening. Travel could be very difficult to impossible. Due to the blizzard, the speed limit on I-90 was reduced to 40 miles per hour between the New York border and Boston Logan International Airport. Several roads and lanes were also closed Monday, and many types of trucks, including box trucks and tractor trailers, were restricted from traveling on interstate highways, MassDOT said. But drivers were not to be deterred, and heavy snow and whipping winds have resulted in stranded vehicles. We also have reports of abandoned trucks and cars and stuck vehicles on roads around Massachusetts, Governor Maura Healey said at a press conference Monday afternoon. This is a reason we just don't want you out there, because it creates burden on our first responders.
Almost.
A travel ban has been put in place for the Cape and South Coast. Boston police responded to multiple crashes and stuck vehicles throughout the city Monday, according to Officer Michael Turridgen, a spokesperson for the Boston Police Department. Officers are out responding to calls throughout the snowstorm, Turridgen said in a phone interview. In Mansfield, officers had responded to assist at least a dozen cars stuck in the snow on Route 140 by 7 a.m., according to police. You're still driving through snowbanks if you try to drive down Route 140, the department said in a statement at 8:26 a.m. In Granby, the local fire department said crews responded to a vehicle crash early Monday morning. The department urged residents to remain indoors. "If you don't have to be out, please stay home," the Granby Fire Department said in a Facebook post. Meanwhile, part of I-495 South was closed in Bridgewater due to a crash on the entrance ramp from Route 24, according to MassDOT. Another crash was reported Monday morning in Blandford between Route 23 and US 20. The Massachusetts State Police said it would release information about the number of vehicles crashed or stranded later Monday afternoon.
We got a spinner, Donahue Road, live action.